ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. What do you call them, poker? We got a full house, everybody.
All right.
Okay, happy birthday, Jeff.
Thanks.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
You're very welcome and
Yeah.
good to see you, Doc. We are going to start today talking about Ozempic and similar drugs that are being used for weight loss. I'm sure you've heard of them. We want to know, are they safe? Can anyone use them? Dr. Coley, we need some answers. And I thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, this is
Doc.
a super hot topic.
It sure is.
Almost every visit, guys, I get a question about it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Did they ask about me?
No.
On that note.
Only my demented parents.
Burn.
Dang. Okay. So, Dr. Coley.
That was good.
The diabetes drug Ozempic has become super popular, so there's now a shortage, and the FDA recently issued a warning urging people not to use off-brand versions of the drug. Why is that?
This is crazy. People are getting hysterical about Ozempic. And yes, there is a shortage, but people are running to these compounding pharmacies. And we compound something. That means we specifically custom make it for people. If there's a shortage, the FDA has allowed pharmacies to do that. But there's no safety checks on what's being compounded. So in fact, now the FDA is getting a ton of reports of people having adverse reactions to these compounded Ozempics that they're getting. And similar is getting it from Canada or Mexico or what have you, ordering it off the web. Don't do that, guys. We don't know what you're getting. It could cause more harm than good. And so even if you really want Ozempic, the right way to get it is through the approved indication, the manufactured Ozempic, not these compounding pharmacies.
Wow.
I've also been seeing a lot of people on like Twitter or just reports that it's actually affecting lower income communities who then have to travel to high income communities just to get their medicine. So what is this all about, and how can this be resolved?
The socioeconomic gap is widening with Ozempic, you know, and unfortunately it's becoming a superstar Hollywood. I've got money, I'm paying several $1,000s a month for it. Yes, and it is not getting into the people that need it. And we know that these lower socioeconomic groups have a higher incidence of obesity sometimes because they're eating more processed foods, it's food deserts, and then they have less access to these medications. And a lot of insurance companies aren't even deciding to cover it for weight loss. They're only covering it for diabetes. So that even compounds the problem further. So only the rich people who can afford to pay cash prices for it, which are a lot, will have access, and some of our poorest ones that may need it the most for medical indications are unfortunately not.
Kind of reminds me of the vaccine when it first came out. Remember, rich folks are flying down to Mexico and saying that they were volunteers, and it seems to be a pattern. But
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
So my wife, I know that she took Ozempic for a little while and then got switched to a different brand. She noticed it was a different color and it made her sick, and she we got off of it. But it brings me to my next question. What is the difference between Ozempic and another drug out there, Wegovy it's called?
It's the same drug, so potato, semaglutide, the same medicine is in both drugs. Ozempic is the marketing brand name for diabetes at a slightly lower dose. Wegovy is a marketing brand name for obesity. So it has the same, it has two different indications, the same medicine.
Wow.
So
Same dosage and everything?
No, they're a little different dose.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
the Wegovy is a little higher dose. The target dose is a little higher than Ozempic. Now, people are using Ozempic for weight loss, even though it's the diabetes version. But at the end of the day, it's the same drug, just a slightly lower dose. I have a problem with people stealing from the diabetics to get the weight loss drug. But let's not forget, there's a weight loss indication. This drug is also made for weight loss and FDA approved for that.
So $1 Million Listing star Tracy Tudor revealed that she was on Wegovy weight loss before, like my wife, it made her vomit as well. And she was unable to drink alcohol. My wife had no problem with that. But is that normal?
So yes, because the way that it works, and a lot of my patients tell me this, is that they'll actually throw up if they eat too much. So it changes the way our stomach empties. It changes the way the satiety works in our brain. So if we end up overeating or eating, food that we're not supposed to be eating, we'll physically be ill. That's one of the ways that it works. Now we're learning that it also works in the brain, not just on the stomach. So it changes the way our cravings work. So we're talking about quitting smoking with this. We're talking about quitting alcohol, opioid addiction. It's been proven to have benefit in that in animals. Now, what we haven't done is studied this in human trials on a large scale. So I want to be cautious about using it for these purposes. The companies don't really have a financial interest in studying anti-addiction. It's never been financially lucrative for pharmaceutical companies to develop anti-addiction drugs. Weight loss, on the other hand, there's a huge interest in studying that. So they're really trying to develop it for those indications. But we're learning as physicians and scientists that may have this. I want to see more clinical trial data, which is cooking right now before we start using it to get Jordan off.
Yeah, I was making a joke. It actually did make her nauseous when she drank alcohol. I thought it'd be funny.
Right.
It was very
I thought it'd be funny to joke about her. Never mind.
The weird thing is, even the nausea, a lot of people are kind of saying, well, Doc, I'm not really seeing a lot of downsides here. You're talking about doing clinical trials, but aren't we kind of doing one now on a large scale because everybody's on this? So are doctors just like laying back, and are we going to all find out together that there is a massive side effect that we didn't see coming 5-10 years down the line?
This is a dangerous trend. I mean, I have people, my mom called me and said, oh, can I have some Ozempic? I want to drop 10 pounds. No, Mom, you cannot, because that is not who it's designed for. It is not for the person that wants to lose weight for a wedding or get into a bikini or what have you. It is for somebody with clinical obesity that is a threat to their life. It is for somebody whose obesity is leading to other health complications. And you know, guys, in animals, there's a signal for medullary thyroid cancer, so we always ask, you know, has anyone had it? And Al, to your point, I mean, the clinical trials study a small percentage of the population. If we now start using this on a wide spectrum and all the people out there, it is possible that small safety signals, just like with the vaccine, get more amplified the more people that you give it to. So indiscriminate use is not what we need to do, guys. This is a medication. It changes the way our body works. It changes a whole host of things. And we don't have long-term data on it. But if you've got clinical obesity and it's a threat to your life, then absolutely it's the right
I think
thing.
a lot of people are just looking at Facebook and looking at people they went to high school with, and they're like, I don't care about long-term anything. Look at the person that I knew was 50 pounds heavier 6 months ago. I think it's hard for people to be patient when they're seeing everybody around them transform.
Well, do you care about your Ozempic butt? Because that's trending out there. So, you know, we need to lose weight, but sometimes in medicine, rapidity of weight loss can actually be maladaptive. So if we lose weight very quickly, it can actually be a little bit of a stress test on our body. Now, for someone with clinical obesity who struggled, it is the right thing to do. Get it off quickly, get them to a better place. But for most of the rest of us, like our friends from high school who just have a few extra pounds, losing that much weight, 20% of your body weight quickly, puts your body into a catabolic state. It starts breaking down your muscles. It starts changing the way our skin looks. You know, you get sagginess on the face, sagginess on the butt. It's not just the physiologic effects, it's the cosmetic effects.
I appreciate that. You know what you are? You are
Making Sir
informed.
Mix-a-Lot mad.
Yeah, he cannot lie. He cannot lie. Dr. Coley, thank you so much for all that info. And to our viewers, Dr. Coley has a podcast. You know it. Check out Heart of Medicine wherever you listen to your podcast. Thanks again. You look absolutely delightful. Thanks, Dr. Coley. And coming up on DBL, it's a bizarre story, and it's gaining a lot of attention thanks to a new Netflix docuseries. What is the real age of this Ukrainian orphan after an adoption went horribly wrong? And Apple unveils a new augmented reality headset that mixes the real world with the digital world. We're talking about it next. Stay tuned for that, people. DBL, this show is amazing.
There's a lot going on down here.
I would have been part of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So on point.
But I'm gonna have a conversation about what's happening now.
So Dr. Coley was talking about the stress test that can happen on your body after you lose a lot of weight in a very small period of time, and I just wanted to also talk about something that happened with me. So I did 4.5 years of fitness competitions, and I would lose, like, the first year I lost 30. By the last year, I was up to 55 pounds that I had to lose within, like, 3 to 4 months. So it wasn't like I was working out, I had a very strict diet, but there were all of these effects that happened to my body, and as a result, it took me about 2 to 3 years to, like, recalibrate my body in terms of, like, thyroid issues and, like, all of these things that really, it made it very difficult for me to lose weight like I normally would lose weight. So I'm just curious if that's something that could potentially be an issue in the future for other people.
For sure. And Erica, you're talking about the physical effects. I also think the mental effects, your sort of self-perception, your self-esteem, others, the way they interact with you, all of those change when you rapidly have changes in your weight up or down.
Yeah.
So I think the idea of kind of using these medications to drop a ton of weight and have that perfect picture on Instagram, you know, it seems like the right thing to do, but medically it's fraught with risk. And I think we really need to tread carefully here because we sort of unleashed this great power, but implementing it in a way that keeps people happy and healthy, I think, is really important.
Thank you.
The future is finally here. Drum roll. Thank you. Thank you. Jeff did it with one hand. Apple just announced its mixed reality headset that it says will change how users interact with technology, each other, and the world around them. So the Vision Pro will be Apple's first major new product since the Apple Watch was released in 2014, and it'll go for $3,500 when it's available to the public beginning early next year. Now, this is how the headset looks when you interact with others in the room. It's kind of like wearing a pair of high-tech ski goggles, okay? Now, the headset will allow you to see the world around you, much like the Minority Report, if you've seen it.
I know another way to get that effect.
With your apps immersed in it. Is that drugs? You can look around and gesture to navigate. You'll be able to view your panoramic photos.
Oh, that's cool.
You can play video games. You can interact in a video conference, learn new things in 3D, and view different windows in front of you like you typically would on a computer.
This is Minority Report.
I just said that. I just said that.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, you weren't listening.
Yeah, this is so, I don't know. I don't know about this. This is so cool, but I feel like this is the first step towards like really deviating from reality as we know it. Because there's going to be somebody that's not going to come off of that and stay in that world, and there's going to be a bunch of people. There's already people that spend 10, 12 hours on the internet. Imagine when it's kind of tangible.
The good news is it only has a 2-hour battery life, so they're going to have to come out of it.
It's the prototype
after
though.
2 hours.
You know, the prototype. It's like give it 2 years.
Wait till you hear the crowd when it was announced, because I'm shocked by the price. Brooks asked me yesterday, and I thought Google Glasses, right, like $1,500. $3,500 is outpricing an enormous amount of people. Listen to the crowd. It's quick, but when they announced the amount of money it costs.
Apple Vision Pro starts at $34.99.
I mean, that's not a great reception when you open.
I don't know.
Steve Jobs would not be happy.
People pay that for a flat screen.
Dude, for what you already have on your phone?
Have you seen the TVs in people's houses?
I already have all of this on my phone. I don't need.
And how much is your phone?
Yeah, it's like $1,200.
Yeah.
That's like double the price of your phone.
Do I need to see it out there instead of right here?
You'll pay for it if you want to. Listen, let's be honest. What was the one thing you guys were thinking when you watched all that? Maybe it's just me.
Dirty.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Pornography.
Yes, correct.
Oh.
Yes.
That's the
because
first
then
thing
you
I
talked
thought.
about people not leaving their house. They will not leave. They will be plugged into the wall for the 2 hours and just watching porn. Yeah.
Yeah.
First thing I thought of, I go, oh, look at that. It's going to go up. All right, Apple also unveiled new updates coming to iOS 17 later this year, including a live voicemail feature. So it'll transcribe a caller's message, but in real time, so users can decide if they want to take it or ignore the call, kind of like the good old days of the answering machine. This is just getting us farther and farther away from people.
I don't understand this because I'm also thinking it's not going to, I'm not just not answering the phone because I don't want to.
Right.
I'm not answering the phone because I have something else I'm doing.
Right.
So how does this change?
I don't understand.
I think if you're in a meeting and they call and you're like, should I pick this up? You can see what they need while it's multitasking.
What is about a text message?
You guys don't let calls
and you can
pass.
screen the calls. What's that?
You guys just don't let phone calls pass, like I'll call them later?
For sure.
Yeah, so I think that it's the name. You don't need the voice. You're like, oh, it's a homie, I'll call him back.
So we need another reason to hate each other?
Exactly. Not only that, there's an upcoming check-in feature that will keep friends and family alerted to your safety. So if you're taking an early run or you're walking after dark, it can share useful information to your loved ones. They're also adding a tool called Name Drop that allows users to share their contact by holding the two iPhones close together.
I don't like that.
This is a nightmare on an airplane. Everyone's way too close. You're going to get information you don't want.
Well, there has to be a way to because otherwise you'd be getting everybody's contact information.
Yeah, but not everybody's gonna be that tech savvy. And I don't know.
Right.
I just don't like if you got somebody's phone that's important and you could distribute their information.
I don't love that last one. That's true. All right, let us know what you guys think coming up on DBL. We're talking about this new docu-series that covers the real-life story eerily similar to the movie Orphan. You gotta stick around for this.
Travelers here know that once the hotel is booked, the itinerary's mapped out, and the plane tickets in hand, a little jet lag is a small price to pay for a big trip once you've arrived at your destination. But it's still helpful to know what you're in for.
Let's verify. Is jet lag likely to be worse traveling west to east than east to west? We checked in with these sources, which all agree yes. Traveling across multiple time zones can affect the body's circadian rhythm, causing jet lag, which the CDC defines as a temporary sleep disorder that can affect your mood, your ability to concentrate, and your physical and mental performance. Researchers from the University of Maryland found people traveling 9 time zones east need nearly 2 weeks to feel better and recover from jet lag, but people traveling the same distance west needed less than 8 days. However, they also found fewer time zones crossed meant a smaller impact. Traveling between the East Coast and the West Coast of the U.S., for example, takes about 4 days of adjustment either way, though it's still a bit easier traveling west. This 2010 article by Rush University scientists explains why. The human body's natural circadian clock is often longer than 24 hours, so people have a natural tendency to want to stay up and sleep in later. That makes it easier for westbound travelers to adapt to the added hours they get by flying across time zones.
The Cleveland Clinic explains there's no guaranteed way to prevent jet lag, but it could help to try to adjust your schedule a little bit before you leave for your trip. And once you get there, spend some time in the sunshine and drink plenty of water to stay alert, refreshed, and ready to take on your trip. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Welcome back. Of all the strange adoption stories out there, very few are as unbelievable as the case of Natalia Grace. Earlier, we spoke with legal expert Beth Karras about the new show from ID. Take a look. You may remember the unusual story of Natalia Grace, a Ukrainian orphan with severe dwarfism adopted by the Barnett family in Indiana, then allegedly abandoned years later.
Then out of nowhere, we got a phone call from an adoption agency in Florida. They had reached out to us and they said, hey, we've got the perfect child for you. Here's all we're gonna give you. Here's 2 pictures. Here's a Ukrainian language birth certificate. And here's 1 doctor visit from 2 years before. You have 24 hours to tell us whether or not you want to adopt her. We went and signed paperwork, and the next thing you know, Natalia was ours.
They began to suspect things were not what they seemed with Natalia.
Now we're very concerned and very worried. Is Natalia 6? Is she older? We would find knives under her bed. There was a moment when I woke up in the middle of the night and Natalia was standing over my bed with a knife in her hand. She began to attempt to harm my sons in a very serious manner.
I'm going to kill you, you you're gonna die.
She was re-aged as a 22-year-old and given an apartment. She was then taken in by another family nearby a year later.
Prosecutors allege that in July of 2013, the Barnetts left their daughter in the Lafayette apartment, then moved to Canada.
For years, her story was scrutinized.
A 6 or 7 year old child living in an apartment alone for a year? That's just not believable to me. Are you a 33-year-old scam artist?
No.
But what if that is not the full story?
A woman who claims to be Natalia Barnett's biological birth mother has come forward to say that she is a child.
What if this adult, pretending to be a child, was actually a child the entire time? Will we ever learn the truth of what happened? Only time will tell.
Wow, joining us now to talk all about the curious case of Natalia Grace, please welcome to the show veteran legal expert Beth Karras.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So let's just go to the start. How did Natalia come into the Barnett family's lives?
She had been adopted by a family in New Hampshire about 2 years earlier in 2008 when she was supposedly 4 years old and unloaded. They didn't want her after about a year, it appears. They were trying to pass her off, almost sell her to another little family, little people family a couple of times. And when that was unsuccessful, they dropped her off at an adoption agency in Florida. Now, they were from New Hampshire. And that's when the Barnetts got the call that they had 24 hours to come and get this little girl, or else she was going to be turned over to foster care. And that was in 2010, so they thought they were adopting a 6-year-old.
So when did the Barnett family begin to suspect that maybe she was much older?
Almost immediately. There were signs almost immediately when Christine, the mother, gave her a bath. They were still in Florida, hadn't gotten back to Indiana yet. And she noticed that Natalia was very mature sexually. She had pubic hair. And they thought, well, she's 6 years old, so what's going on here? Were they off by a few years or more than a few years in her age?
Now, the answer to Natalia's age is still, I can't believe this, still a mystery. In actuality, how old was Natalia while this was going on?
Well, we don't know for sure.
Right.
If you believe her Ukrainian birth certificate, she was actually 8 years old when she was re-aged to 22 and left on her own in an apartment that was not modified for someone with a disability.
Oh
She was
my
a little
gosh.
person. This was a hall, counters and bathtub and sinks, and wasn't modified for her. But yet she was 8 years old. But 8-year-olds can live on their own.
Wow, Beth, this case is absolutely crazy. Thank you for sharing your expert analysis.
Check out The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. The entire series is available now on Max. We'll be right back.
Many people brush their teeth at least twice a day, when you wake up and before you go to bed. But should you change when you brush based on what you eat?
Multiple Verify viewers, including Henry, asked if you should wait to brush after eating or drinking something acidic to avoid damaging your teeth.
So let's verify. Should you wait 30 minutes to brush your teeth after consuming acidic foods or drinks? Our sources are the Mayo Clinic, Columbia University Irving Medical Center, and the American Dental Association. What you eat and drink impacts the health of your teeth. According to the American Dental Association, acidic foods like tomatoes, orange juice, wine, or coffee can weaken your enamel, the protective outer layer of the tooth, leaving you vulnerable to bacteria buildup and tooth decay. While brushing your teeth reduces the amount of bacteria around your teeth and gums, our sources say brushing too soon after eating acidic foods can remove even more enamel, creating weak spots, which can increase the risk of tooth decay. Throughout the day, your teeth go through two processes: demineralization and remineralization. Demineralization occurs when the foods and drinks we consume create acid that attacks the enamel of the teeth. Eating foods that are already acidic can do even more damage. Remineralization happens when minerals in saliva, such as calcium and phosphate, bond to the teeth to fill in the weakened areas of the enamel that are broken down over time by acids and plaque.
Dentists at Columbia University and the Mayo Clinic say waiting about 30 minutes after consuming acidic foods and drinks allows the tooth enamel to remineralize and build itself back up, keeping that protective layer around your tooth.
So we can verify, yes, you should wait about 30 minutes to brush your teeth after consuming acidic foods or drinks.
With your Verify, I'm Ariante Till.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter helps you distinguish between true and false information by answering your questions. It provides fast facts on trending topics, spotlights major stories, and even includes a daily fun fact for all those trivia buffs out there. Get Verify's fast facts delivered every weekday to your email inbox. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out. Amazon ships more than 1 million packages each day within the U.S. For years, if you ordered items directly sold by Amazon in the U.S. and you didn't like them, you could return them for free at any approved drop-off location. But some people say Amazon is changing its return policy, now charging $1 for all returns. Verify viewer Rick asked us if that's true. So let's verify using these sources.
Amazon did recently update its return policy, but that doesn't mean you're going to have to pay a $1 fee on all returns.
Instead, the new policy imposes a $1 fee if you make the return at a UPS store when a different free return location, like a Whole Foods Markets or Kohl's, is closer to the delivery address. So we can verify, no, Amazon is not adding a $1 fee to all returns.
So make sure to check the distance of the options closest to you. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Side Deal. Check them out. Steph, what do you have for us today?
Hi Tori and hey DBL Nation. I am so excited to show off the deals today. As usual, they're fabulous. Get ready to get shopping. Check this out. We've got the JVC Gummy True Wireless earbuds. Now, JVC is a leader in high-quality sound equipment, and we are proud to be close partners so that we get fantastic deals, which means you get a big discount. Normally, these are $40, but we've got this for $10, so that's saving 75%.
I would match them to my outfit.
Our next product today is the Heim Vision Sunrise Alarm Clock Wake Up Light. So this product will help you establish a really healthy sleep routine, and waking up will be so much easier because it simulates the light sunrise and also sunset features. So normally this is $60,
right,
but we've got it for just $19.99, so that's saving you guys 67%.
That's the way to wake up.
So up next today, we've got the Modern Threads 12-piece 100% cotton Oxford Jacquard towel set. This set is made of 100% plush cotton, which means it's super soft, it's absorbent, and it's durable. So normally this is $136.
Towels are so pricey.
I know, but guess what, Tori? We've got them for $29.99, so that's saving 70%.
Wipe up the savings with those towels.
Yes. Now, our last product today is the 2-pack Boogie Board Versatiles Memo Board.
What?
This board is really cool because it quickly erases your notes with just the tap of an eraser in the corner. Normally these are $30 each, but we've got this 2-pack for $29.99, so that's saving 50%.
No paper, no pens, it's gone. No, oh my gosh, this future is now. Guys, head on over to sidedeal.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit sidedeal.com right on your phone. Steph, thank you so much. Good stuff. How old did you turn, Mr. Schroeder?
45.
Hey!
Just like our great president. Oh no!